Hi, my name's Sivyer, and today I'm going to put forward my proposal for my project, which is the effectiveness of arousal/anxiety regulation techniques and their impact on performance in both surfing and swimming. Now, reasons why I want to do this. Personally, I've got a personal interest in it. I love to swim, and surfing-wise, sometimes anxiety has really impacts my performance in some way, so as arousal. It also falls within kind of financial budgets and the resources that we have available here. With the surfing and swimming in a pool, you have a closed environment, and surfing in an open environment. Also, hopefully the results that can potentially help both athletes and coaches. And also, after research, there doesn't seem to be a lot of kind of journals or anything like that with arousal and anxiety in a water sport environment. Now, this study will look into kind of a few of the techniques that can be utilised by performers and the effectiveness of those techniques on either raising or reducing arousal/anxiety and the impact that that then has on their performance. Some of my key references here, as I said, there's not tons of, I can find tons of papers on anxiety and arousal in a water sports environment, apart from one, which was this one here. I'm not going to try and pronounce those names. Awful. Competitive anxiety and life-saving swimmers. My method for this is to take a sample, probably similar to Dale's, in kind of 5 to 6, 19 to 22-year-old guys, because it's accessible, it's easy. Now, first I'm going to record anxiety and arousal levels, both somatic, so the physical, and cognitive knowledge. And the way I'm going to do this is by using self-report questionnaires used by other psychologists. One is the State Anxiety Inventory used by Spielberger. Another, the SCAT, and also the Competitive State Anxiety Inventory, the second one. Now, all of these are good because they actually give out a numerical value at the end. It's not, so it's easy to kind of almost justify it scores stuff up. So I'll perform those as well as I said, the somatic, so have their heart rate taken and breathing, respiratory rate taken. I will then, of the entire sample group, I will then randomly select both a test and a control group, apply the regulation technique to one of the groups. Once again, record the arousal levels again, get them to perform surfing for 15 minutes as if like a heat, and then swim 100 metres, not against each other, but in a time trial. After that analysis, using video footage in surfing, I'm hopefully going to be in contact with a surf coach soon, because I'm not qualified to specifically judge performance in surfing. And then also through a kind of a personal performance questionnaire done by the guys. For swimming, instead I said it's a time trial, so you'll analyse the time it took to and then you'll repeat that with each regulation technique. And those techniques that I'm using are imagery, the 5 breath technique, Branson's relaxation technique, and surf activation. You'll see they are that one. External organisations. I'll be honest, I haven't been in contact with these guys yet, but as you'll see in my development, I do want to get in contact with them and ask them what's when they're training coaches, what their kind of techniques are for helping students who are possibly anxious or have high arousal levels. That's my development. From November to March, I'll collect the data. I've still got to research the swimming locations in terms of accessibility, how easy it's going to be to get there, finance, how much it costs just to swim, also the type of pool. You can't go to St Michael's Mount, it's a 12-metre pool, you really want a kind of 25-metre pool. Research more previous studies, and like I said before, gain contacts within the industry. With this study, I'm going to follow the ethical principles for research involving human participants at Plymouth University. And it's on your handout, but they have kind of guidelines and subheadings under kind of where you have to have their subheadings, which are informed consent, openness and honesty, right to withdraw, protection from harm, debriefing, and course, confidentiality. That's mine. Thank you very much.
Okay, so where are you going to do the testing? Are we going to, is it free surfing? Are we competing? What do we do?
I'd like to be competing, that's going to be hard to do a free surf, which will mean that, which will mean scats a bit hard because that's competitive anxiety.
Okay.
Why both surfing and swimming? Why not just one or the other?
I think it's because I like the idea of the fact, like I said, with surfing, it's hard to, it's like dancing in a way. There's no, you can't, I'm not a judge, so I can't score, I'm not that qualified. So it's a bit open how you score a wave or something like that. Whereas in swimming, if you're doing a time trial, it's a time, it's dead on. You can analyse that, see their improvement or improvement over the weeks.
So you're going to be looking to like compare and contrast how
Yeah.
in both areas?
Yeah.
Okay.